Good morning and welcome to day 3 of May's Lofty Vlogs. I've woken up with a little bit of a niggly headache this morning. I feel like the weather is changing a little bit. It is sunny but hazy today, and so it's sort of giving me a bit of a niggly headache. So I've taken a couple of Aleve. I have the caffeine at the ready, and we're just going to take a few minutes and sort of prep for the day. And I thought I would share what I can of the knitting that I got up to yesterday with you right now. So last night, I worked on a secret test knit that has been living in this lovely floral bag from Bird Leg Bags. And as you can see, my yarn is attached and I have zipped this shut because I can't give any, other than yarn spoilers, no other spoilers. So I thought I'll share my yarns for this project, since that's about all I can share, other than I am thinking of using this project for something very, very special once it's been released. So it's really pretty, and I am using some really, really fun yarns. So I have gone with a rainbow theme for this project, and I am using this lovely skein here, and I will be using this lovely skein of Nora George yarns on BFL sock in the Afterglow colorway. And this poppy color has pretty much every single one of the colors that I'm using throughout this project. So a fun color to use as a highlight, or maybe as a main even, because these ones here are really the highlights. So this is what I'm using, and I've been holding everything double with some mohair from Hedgerow Yarns. And I started off adding in little bits of rainbow pop. So I had red, and these little minis are by Miss Babs, and they are Yummy 2-ply toes. So I started off with red, and then I went into a burnt orange. Then I went into this yellow green, which is really popping on the screen. After adding in these ones, I am now currently working with this gorgeous green. This is called Fraser. I wish the Fraser River was this color. Instead, it is just very muddy. Of course, the tides go in and out and up and down over the mud. So the river looks muddy, but this Fraser looks absolutely beautiful. This looks more like the color on some of the mallard ducks' heads, just that beautiful green. So these ones are already in the project, and this one is still being currently worked. And the ones ahead we have this one here, and this one is Dark Aquarius, a lovely turquoise. The next one that will go in is this beautiful blue, and this one is Dark Orion. Beautiful. This one here is, I don't know if I'm going to say it properly, but Dark Pleiades. And the final one, which is kind of more going back towards that rainbow red, is Dark Cassiopeia. So let me pop these all together. These beauties will round out my rainbow. And as I mentioned, the Afterglow has all of these little pops of color throughout. I am super, super excited for when I can share this project with you, and it is going to be absolutely beautiful, especially with the yarns that I've used. I think it's going to be spectacular, but we will have to wait. In the meantime, I am trying to figure out about some new cast-ons. Upstairs, I have 2 Dreaming of Butterfly kits, and I would love to cast one of those on. I just need to decide, do I go with the pink, orange, the marmalade kit, or do I go with the green and pink kit, which pink and green is always so lovely. I'm leaning that way, so I'm thinking I'd like to cast that on, and I am also thinking I might like to join Sharon of the Knitting Project and cast on a shisui, I think that's how you say it, shrug, and that's a pattern by Suzanne Summers. I've had the yarn for that project for ages, and it is all upstairs, so I'm thinking that will be my next garment, and then my next shawl on the wrap will be, or shawl on the needles will be the Dreaming of Butterflies wrap. So that is what I am thinking of getting to. But before I do, and before this headache completely explodes on me, I think it's time to get some caffeine into my system. And today we are going to, I think we're going to tackle the china cabinet and clearing that out. So that has all the nice fancy breakable things. So let us cheer to enjoying some time with some of the finer things in life. And today I am drinking out of my lovely Rendale Designs Awakening mug. So cheers to enjoying some time with the finer things in life. Caffeine is definitely a necessary evil. I am now super happy to say the headache has dissipated, and not only that, the green yarn, this gorgeous Fraser colorway, and my mohair are now free because I've just spent a little bit of time this morning spending time with Danny of Little Bobbins, who has a new vlog, I guess more of a vlog, not quite a podcast, where she has been blocking or reblocking her goose eggs quilt, which, oh, I need to redo mine as well. So it was relaxing watching her block her block and working on my mystery project, just sitting relaxing, finishing off my tea. And now we will go upstairs and figure out what we will do in the loft today. I don't want to start here, but when I look at the grand scheme of things, it makes sense to at least clear some of the floor space here before moving the furniture, because in order to get the desk out from behind me to move over there, and in order for me to move the china cabinet over here, I do need a bit of space cleared. I already think this looks like a disaster, but you know, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But maybe today, just getting the floor cleared up, getting the blocking mats all put together and placed in a secure area will help make the transition of spaces a little bit easier to complete, and it will feel a lot better getting into this space as well. I have my beautiful Kronsky spinning wheel. I'm actually going to go put it over by the china cabinet so that it is out of the way and safe, and things will just be moving back and forth over the next little while. It will, by the end of the month, look fantastic, but between now and the 31st, it's going to be chaos, absolute chaos. I'm not worried about matching the colors up on my blocking mats. I just want to make sure that each of the mats has the edging and a mat to go with it. So then that way all of the edges and the 2x2 mats are put together. I picked these up at Canadian Tire quite a few years ago, and they have definitely been wonderful. But I do separate the edges sometimes. Sometimes I use them together like this to pop on the side to extend when I'm blocking. Sometimes I have them just popped on the side as is, and this one is broken. I don't know how it got broken, whether it got pulled off by just getting stuck somewhere or whether one of the kids broke it off. Hard to say, but for the most part they are functional, and that is all that matters. And do we care that it doesn't match at this moment? No, because I just want to make sure when I need them I can easily find them, and everything will have a home. Everything in its place will make things easier to not only find, but also when things have a home, you know where to put them when you're done with them. I think I much prefer doing this over blocking. Depends, of course, on what you're blocking. And these will also go over by the china cabinet. Lots of lovely Katona ready to be knit into wondrous dishcloths. This is the other mini that is not making it into that project I'm working on downstairs. This is my Madeline Tosh bin, and I was into it and pulling out yarns to use for the circular sock machine, and it got left out here. I've just started throwing stuff in here. I do keep my yarns in Ziploc bags because I don't want any little flying creatures to get into my yarns. These are my beautiful self-striping yarns. These ones are from Turtle Pearl, and I do have a self-striping bin, so I'm going to make sure that this gets into that bin. I have this gorgeous sweater quantity. This is London Cosmopolitan from Loop of London. I've thought about making a boxy, another boxy with this, though I'm not 100% sure, but it is absolutely gorgeous. These are my hedgerow yarns. I have some Surrey alpaca and some mohair. I'm using this currently in the project downstairs, and I'm going to put this with my hedgerow stash. So just a lot of reorganization. It is always lovely when you can get the top onto the yarn bin and get it closed nicely. So this can now come off of the cedar chest, and it's all going to end up across the way, isn't it? Underneath my box of Madeline Tosh yarns is this lovely parcel that I received last fall, and it is to make an Advent wall calendar. It's from Jules Hill of So Sweet Violet, and I haven't opened it yet because this is what I hope to work on this fall. So for now, I'm going to put this with my fabrics, and those are kept in the linen closet, which is actually fairly organized. Leftover balls of loveliness. This can go in here. I have this little box of fabric scraps that were also given to me, so not sure where to put this one for now. This one can go in the fabric cupboard. We are slowly seeing the top of my cedar chest here, and a couple things. I have found this lovely relaxing I don't know what you call it, but my lovely sister-in-law gave us these. The boys got one. I think I had one as well. And it's actually quite a relaxing thing to do. So I'm going to put this by the chair so that we can sit and de-stress. And I've also thrown some little bits of fabric in this basket. And because I'm only trying to do a little bit each day, I think my goal today will be to get this completely cleared off. And I will deal with these bits of fabric another day. So I'm just going to pop them in the corner over there to be dealt with another day. But this is going over by the chairs. There are a couple more things left on here. First is this lap loom instructions that go with my basket with the lap loom. One started ages ago, and in this basket I have the squares to put together to make a blanket. My intention was to use all my beautiful bits and create a blanket with this, and as with all best laid plans, I will get to that one day. So maybe I should put this downstairs so that I see it and actually work on it. So I'll put that at the top of the stairs here with the instructions. And the last thing on here, an empty bag and the yarn left over from my Macaulay cardigan. So this will go back in stash, and I have 6 full balls of the purple and a half ball, and then I have 1 full ball and a bit of the wash. So I think this one was stipple and this one was wash, and I will put that in with the yarn. I just popped downstairs and got the duster because even though this cedar chest was covered with stuff, it also got a light dusting of dust as well. Now inside this cedar chest are lots of my lovely woolly knits. There are a few of Nathaniel's and Isaac's baby clothes as well. Lots of little preciouses, and just on the chair beside me I have a few things that need to be popped in here, so we're going to do that, and I think we will then call it a day. In my cedar chest I have lots of lovely woolly things. There are my 2 dust of snow wraps. I have some beautiful quilts, and then I have lots of lovely keepsakes from the boys under there as well. So I have a couple of pieces that I'm going to put in here, and then I have my winter woolies that I wore this year that I need to wash up and put in here as well. And this cedar chest is going to be moved downstairs in the days ahead. Not only have I cleared off the cedar chest, the chair is also getting cleared because I had piled things on. And one of the things that I'm clearing off is this Space Saver bag that has a couple of gorgeous wool things. I have this beautiful wool wrap that I had put in the Space Saver because I had pulled it out of the cedar chest. And I also have, and this usually goes on the back of one of my chairs, but while this space has been crazy, I haven't done that. This is a beautiful wool blanket that I bought in New Zealand in 1996, and I absolutely love it. For now, it is also going in the cedar chest, and eventually I will pull it out to put in this space once the space starts looking a little bit better. So let us close this chest, keep the items nice, safe, and secure. We're going to move this downstairs with items inside, and that will definitely free up a lot of space. Now, 3 more things to move today, and then we're going to call it a day. Always important to have with yarn if you're terrified of moths, and yes, I am. These are some of my hand spuns. They're just little samples, but I just can't seem to get rid of them. And this here is something I talked about earlier today. And this is from Loop, both of these. This is the marmalade kit, and this one, I can't remember. Oh, this is the rose madder. So rose madder, marmalade for the Dreaming of Butterflies shawl kit, and I do want to cast one of these on. I am leaning towards the pink and green, although the pink, orange, black, and white would be a lot of fun too. So these were from my purchases when I went to England with my mom this past fall. So these I have put so they're safe in this bin, and I definitely want to figure out which of the two to cast on as my next shawl. So I would love your thoughts. Marmalade or rose madder? I have moved a few things over in front of the cabinet, but not too bad. The big space, however, looks quite a bit better and a little bit easier to go into. So let's go take a look. And here we are. We are done for May 3rd. The cedar chest is completely cleared off, which is looking fantastic, as are the two chairs, because they had been stacked with things and yarn. I have put the yarn away, although there is a bit of yarn. The blacker yarns is popping out of the box up top there as the yarns sit precariously. And I have the two kits underneath in the bottom box, the two butterfly kits, and then I also have the bin of lovely leftovers in the top bin. So we'll deal with those in the days ahead. I don't know whether we'll tackle this tomorrow, but it definitely needs to be tackled very soon because I find it just too overwhelming. But slowly but surely, this space is coming along and starting to look a lot more open. I'm looking forward to moving the desk and definitely making more space here. Thank you for joining along with me today. It is starting to make me feel a little less anxious, a little less stressed out, seeing that things are cleaning up, and we're really only doing it a little bit at a time. We didn't tackle too much today, but it was enough to really let me start breathing a little bit lighter. I have been loving your comments, and I know a few people have said they're going to join in. So if you're joining in, I hope that you are getting those little bits of relief as well. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we tackle another space up here. I am thinking it's probably going to be the blue dresser, but we will see what I feel like tomorrow. Before we go, I think we'll go outside, take in some nature. I love hearing those bird sounds, and I hope you've been liking that as much. So we'll go outside and see whether there are some little birds out there, what nature holds in store for us today. No geese out on the flats today, but there are some pretty yellow flowers down here, and the birds are singing in the trees. So we'll just take a little bit of a listen. There are no geese out on the flats right now, but it is always nice to just come outside, get that breath of fresh air, especially after doing a great job cleaning today. Yes. And we will see you tomorrow for Star Wars Day, May 4th. And tomorrow is a super, super exciting day. Not because we're going to be cleaning, but because we're going to be sharing something super special. See you tomorrow. Bye. Tomorrow is a very, very exciting day. Nancy is going to be revealing her secrets because tomorrow is the release of Pattern 1 of the Handmade Sock Society Season 5. If you've tuned in, you know I have used this gorgeous Cauldron of Colors yarn. Yesterday I took some photographs of my socks, and tomorrow I get to share them with you in their full glory. But for now, Nancy's keeping her secrets until release.